Hi everyone, bonjour tout le monde and أهلا وسهلا بالجميع. In today's video, we will be covering the opposition. What does it mean in opposition and how important is the opposition in our endgames. Before I go to this position, I need to show you this one here. Just to show you what first that an opposition is when two kings are opposite each other and the number of the square between them 1, 3 or 5. It can be on a file, it can be on a rank, and it can be diagonal. Number of the square 1, 3, so we can see here it's also 3 on a rank, or 5 here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's always, think about it, it's always an odd number. Okay, I usually use this video or this position to show my beginners class the goal of this opposition. So as white, if we make the first move, that means we get the opposition, means like we have the number, the odd number of 5. Black are going to answer this, and then we get again the 3 squares here, 1, 2, 3, and then I say hello to the king, I'm opposite you. The king goes here, and this is the best when we get 1, because it clearly shows like the king controlling these 3 squares, which means this king is not allowed to go to here, here, or here, which will have to choose. This king will have, the black king will have to choose between going to d6 or going to f6. Of course, he can go backward. Every time he is going to do this one, we go to the opposite side. So the opposite side. So we're not going to do an opposition again, unless we want to repeat moves and then just keep drawing this one. Okay, so whenever he went to this square, we go here. So you can see he's gonna try to reach this rank, and I'm gonna try to reach this rank. And because I started as white, I'm gonna reach it before him. Okay. Okay. Now let's see this one. I wanna win. I wanna promote a queen with my pawn, and this position works with a b pawn, C pawn, D pawn, E, F, and G. I call them knight pawn, bishop pawn, center pawns, again bishop pawn, knight pawn, and these ones are exceptions. Oh, let me just turn them red. Okay, so first step that you have to do in your game, okay, is to get the king in front of the pawn and on the 6th rank. If you achieve that, doesn't matter if it's your turn or it's black turn, it will be still winning. And we can see here, then to keep this opposition means to keep that one square between us, we can move the pawn there in e8, and then the pawn takes away these 2 squares, which leads to the king leaving, and then f7, and then I can promote the pawn. So this is your first step. Second step, like I said, doesn't matter which, that's what you want to do. It doesn't matter which turn, you will still win. That means if he plays as black, king f8, you will go to the opposite side. That is your final destination. The f7, if you have an e pawn, you want to go finish with f7 or d7. Why? Because that's, both of them will control these 3 squares and make the pawn happy, walking towards promoting. And this is the same, okay? And then here, check, there, and promote. The same if he played, just to show you, the same if he played king to d8, we still go king f7, and this is 3 squares that I'm controlling, and then the pawn can be promoted. Okay. Okay, so let's start checking how we are going to do this one. First thing that I want you to remember, we do not want to move the pawn, we want to move the king. So the goal is to reach these 2 squares, right? Because these 2 squares will allow us to control more squares and let the pawn walk. And I call it walking the dog. So we're gonna move king f2 or king d2, okay? king f7. So if your opponent knows what is in opposition, obviously is gonna count the square. So that means he's gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means he's gonna go here and get an opposition. You go in front of the pawn, and then your opponent's the same. He's gonna go in front, and then he's going to get 3 squares here, here, and then here. You don't want to go here, you don't want to go here. You really wish it was his turn and he is going to move, because this is the best position. So here you can use that waiting move and ask the king to move now. So if he moves to d6, you're going to go to f5, and then control these 3 squares, and then this way. So if the king drops to d5, that's very easy. You can just move your pawn. Again, you can see you are in opposition, right? So you just move the pawn, opposition again, and you have to remember the opposition is not on a file just, it's on a rank 2 and diagonal. Here, you can move. You arrived to the 6th rank. You can move your pawn. Here, this is the first step that I showed you. It's to get your king in front of the pawn and reach that e6. So if you're playing with the e pawn, and now he has to move there, and then the pawn can. Maybe I went too quickly here, so let me just go back to the beginning. King d2. Let's say he plays king d7. You're gonna get the opposition. 1, 2, 3. He's gonna go here. You're gonna go here, opposite, with 1 square. He goes here on d6. You're going to go for the opposite side, and then if he goes here, you're gonna go here. If he goes in e8, e6, and now your king reached his final destination for now, so we can move the pawn. And we know once the king is here, doesn't matter which turn, we're gonna still win, right? There, there, there. Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay. King f2, king f5, f7, sorry, king f3. If the king goes to f6, king here, please stop the video and try to find the best move. King e4 and get in the opposition. Please do not move the pawn. Once you move the pawn, I want to show you how this turns from winning position to a draw. As black can get the opposition, and now your king cannot go in front of your pawn. So that means I am not able to move that king in front. So I'm just gonna keep it like this. And then you can see black will play this, 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 this. Okay, so I'm gonna go here. You go here, opposition. Just to show you that this is the same. Push the pawn. I'm gonna go in front. There. Don't go there because you get the opposition, but that's still there, 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 and we get stalemate. Okay, I hope I helped you today. If you have any question and it's not still clear for you, please let me know.